Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, we are coming to you live via YouTube streaming, via Facebook streaming, and via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Going within. Listening and experiment in insight. Listening and experiment in insight. You have to see what a master is saying, not to learn or accumulate what he is saying. You come every streaming, listen to me. You see the post, you start sharing it, you start liking it even before you could read it completely or understand it. Do not collect knowledge while listening to me. Do not hold any knowledge. Listening should be an experiment in insight. I emphasize, listening is an experiment in insight. You should listen with intensity. You should listen with intensity, with totality, with as much awareness as is possible for you at that moment. In that very awareness, you will see a point, and that very seeing is transformation. Not that you have to do something else afterwards. Just while listening with total awareness, you will see the point, and that seeing is transformation. Not that you have to do something afterwards. The seeing itself brings mutation. Seeing itself brings mutation. If some effort is needed, that simply shows you have missed. If you come tomorrow and ask me, I have understood that knowledge is the curse, that knowledge creates distance. Now how to drop it? Then you have missed. You have missed completely. The how cannot arise because how is asking. What does how does? How means it implies more knowledge. How is asking for methods, techniques, what should be done. And insight is enough. It needs not be helped by any effort. It is fire. And its fire is more than enough to burn all knowledge that you carry within you. Just see the point. You do not have to do something afterwards. Seeing itself brings mutation. If some effort is needed, that simply shows you have missed. If you come tomorrow and ask me, I understood that knowledge is curse. It creates a distance. Now, how to drop knowledge? That means you have missed. When you are listening to me, go with me. Listening to me is like holding my hand and moving in the space that I am trying to help you to move in. I am taking you into those spaces where I am. Listening to me, go with me. Hold my hands and move in the spaces that I am trying to take you to move in. And see what I am saying. But you argue. You say that I know it. Do not argue. Do not say yes or no. Do not agree or disagree. Just be with me in this very moment, and suddenly the insight is there. That is the secret. No yes, no no, no agreement, no disagreement. Just be holding hands. Suddenly the insight is there. You are listening attentively, and by attention I do not mean concentration. By attention I simply mean listening with awareness. Listening with awareness, listening with openness. You are here now with me. That is why, that is what I mean by attention. You are nowhere else. You are not comparing in the mind that what I am saying with your old thoughts. You are not comparing at all. You are not judging. You are not there like a judge inside. Whether what I am saying is right or wrong, or how much it is right, is not important. But that's where the major problem comes in with most of the people. You are not comparing in the mind what I am saying with all that you have known before, which is normally people do. I am saying something, I am speaking. You go and compare it with what you have known. I am saying, what I am saying, you are comparing it with your old thoughts. You are not to compare at all. You are not judging. You are not these judgings will not help you. It does not matter whether what I am saying is right or wrong, or how much it is right. This is the secret that you have to take into account and understand. Sometimes it happens you come across this seeker, you talk to them, and an inner dialogue continues. You say something, immediately the person says, yes, yes, I know it. So you are a seeker in a way, but you are burdened with knowledge. You compare. While I am talking to you, your eyes become full of tears sometimes. The heart, when eyes become full of tears, heart is just going to open. In that very moment, mind jumps. Sometimes mind jumps in and destroys the whole beauty of it. I have seen. Sometimes someone is listening to me. The face is changed. Eyes have tears. The heart is almost ready to open. Same very moment, old mind comes with its walking sticks, and everything is destroyed, the beauty of it. At that moment, you were just moving towards the heart and opening. But immediately the mind walks in with its walking stick. Those tears that were on the verge of dropping have disappeared. The eyes become dry. And what has happened? I said something with which you do not agree. You go on agreeing up to a certain point. Then I said something which goes against your background. The master does it purposely. Suddenly I said something or did something which goes against your background. And everything is lost. The whole energy changed. You say that whatsoever you are saying, I understand, I know it. But with this I cannot agree. I do not feel anything anymore. Because the mind has come in. This normally happens. I see it happening on a day-to-day basis. You do not look at it this way, and you miss that moment because of comparison with your old mind. You miss everything. What does your understanding has to do with me? When you are with me, put away all your knowledge, put away all that you have known, your Kabbalah, Yoga, Tantra, this and that. When you are with me, just be with me and nothing else. Remember, I am not saying that you are agreeing with me. There is no question of agreement or disagreement. You see a rose flower, do you agree with it or disagree with it? There is no question, you just see it. And in seeing, you are with it. When you see a sunrise, do you agree or do you not? Do you say this is sunrise or this is not sunrise? When you see the moon in the night, you simply see it. Either you see it or you do not see it. But there is no question of being in agreement or disagreement with it. That way, be with the Master. That is the way of being with the Master actually. Just be with me. I am not trying to convince you about anything. I am not trying to convert you to some theory, philosophy, dogma, or to some church. No. I am simply sharing what has happened to me. I am simply sharing what has happened to me. And in that sharing, if you participate, it can happen to you as well. It is very infectious. Insight transforms. When I am saying knowledge is a curse, you can agree or disagree with it, and you miss it. You have to listen to it, just see into it, go into the whole process of knowledge. You see how knowledge creates distance, how knowledge becomes a barrier, how knowledge stands in between, how knowledge goes on increasing and decreasing, how knowledge goes on increasing, and distance, as knowledge increases, distance too increases, how innocence is lost through knowledge, how wonder is destroyed, crippled, murdered through knowledge, how life becomes a totally dull and boring affair. Through knowledge, mystery is lost, and with mystery, God is lost. Mystery disappears because you start having the idea that you know. When you know, how can there be mystery? How can there be wonder? Mystery is possible only when you do not know. And remember, man has not known a thing. All that you have gathered is just rubbish. The ultimate remains despite all the knowledge that you claim to have, ultimate remains beyond the grasp. What you have gathered are only facts. Truth remains untouched by our efforts. And that is the experience not only of Buddhas, Krishnas, Krishnamurti, Raman. That is the experience even of Edison, Newton, Albert Einstein. That is the experience of poets, painters, dancers, all the great intelligences of the world. They may be mystics, they may be poets, they may be scientists. They are in absolute agreement with one thing, that the more we know, the more we understand. Now there is no more mystery in life. It is only the mediocre mind that becomes attached to knowledge. The intelligent mind remains above knowledge. He uses it as an instrument. It is useful. Knowledge is useful, it is utilitarian, but he knows perfectly well that all that is true is hidden, remains hidden. We can go on knowing and knowing, but God remains unexhausted. That is why we call it unknown and unknowable. Listen with insight, attention, totally. In that very vision you will see something, and that seeing changes you. That seeing changes you, but do not ask how. That is the meaning when Krishnamurti says to negate is silence. To negate is silence, insight negates, and when something is negated and nothing is posited, instead something has been destroyed and nothing has been put or replaced in its place, that is silence. Because now there is a space, there is silence, because the old has been thrown out and new has not been brought in. Like room you have emptied, but you have not brought into new furniture, new deco. Old has been thrown and new has not been brought out. That silence Buddha called shunyata. That silence is emptiness, nothingness, and only that nothingness can operate in the world of truth. Thoughts cannot operate there. Thoughts work only in the world of things, because thought is also a thing, subtle, but it is also material. That is why thought can be recorded. That is why thoughts can be relayed, conveyed. I can throw a thought to you, you can hold it, you can have it. It can be given and given. It is transferable because it is a thing. It is a material phenomenon. On the contrary, emptiness cannot be given. Emptiness cannot be thrown at you. You can participate in it. You can move into it with me. But nobody can give it to you. It is Emptiness is non-transferable, and only emptiness operates in the world of truth. Truth is known only when mind is not. To know truth, mind has to vanish. It has to go out of functioning. It has to be quiet, still, and unmoving. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.